Hey, it's time again to Ask the Attorney, and Daryl Minton is here with us to answer your legal questions. And Happy New Year. This is the first time back in the new year. Looking forward to having some good sessions, getting a lot of questions answered. Let's get to our first one right now. My boss wants me to sign a contract saying I won't work for any of her competitors. Do I have to sign it?
There's no legal compulsion that you sign a non-compete agreement, and that's what that sounds like it is. If you're an at-will employee, you don't work for a government agency, you don't have a contract of employment, you're just an at-will employee, and you refuse to sign something like that, then I think that the consequences are fairly easy to predict. You may not have a job anymore, but before you sign something like that, it may cost you $100 to go talk to a lawyer to have the lawyer analyze that particular contract to see if it's enforceable or not. But the consequences of not having that reviewed and signing an agreement like that that is likely to be enforceable could be a whole lot more than the cost of going to a lawyer to talk about it.
All right, our next question. My mother-in-law is threatening to call CPS because I spanked my son. Can she do that?
She can. In fact, there is a statute that makes it a crime not to report child abuse if you suspect child abuse has occurred, and that applies to doctors and lawyers and everybody. But there's also another statute that makes it a crime to make a false report to CPS. In over 20 years of practice in law, however, I have never seen anyone charged with making a false report to CPS. They don't prosecute that very often, and unfortunately, in most family law cases, you'll see, not most, but in many family law cases, you'll see one party or the other trying to get an advantage by calling CPS in and making some exaggerated complaint about child abuse. But yes, she can, and her identity is privileged. CPS does not have to disclose that to you, so even seeking civil remedies against her would be very difficult.
All right, our last question. I'm getting a divorce and my soon-to-be ex says he's going to have the judge order that I can't date anyone. Can he do that?
I don't know of any judge that would sign an order that broad, nor any court of appeals that would uphold such a broad order. There could be something called a morality clause included in the judgment that requires that you not have an overnight guest when you have possession of the children. I've seen in some child custody cases where a particular individual is not allowed to be around the child, but just a global order that says you can't date anyone, to me, sounds like it would probably violate our First Amendment right of association.
All right. Okay, and again, we answer your questions here every Wednesday. You can submit those on our website.